Hey everybody, welcome back. So it's been a little while. Had kind of a wild transformational experience of going to this festival called the Music and Sky Festival. Highly recommended. It's up in Northern California. It's a pretty small scale festival, which is actually my favorite type of festival to do, especially for live paintings, because I find that I have much more deeper and meaningful connections with people when they're able to see me and I'm able to see them multiple times, as opposed to, having tens of thousands of people passing by you and your art and, occasionally having a surface level interaction with them. These small festivals really allow you to connect with each other, see what everybody else is doing, really get to know the other artists, and feel like you're a part of this community of creation. It's just high numbers of really creative, really interesting people who are gathered together here, and they all have their cool different stories about what they do, how they do it, where they come from, etc., etc. So made some really great new friends. Hopefully some of those are going to be lifelong connections of just artists and beautiful people who I can collaborate and co-create with. So needless to say, it was a really heart-opening and joyful experience to be finally back painting at live events. This is a big part of me and who I am, especially in the last couple of years, and moving to California and having a daughter. I really kind of put that on pause for a little while. When you have a young child at home, it's kind of go inwards, and you change your schedule, and so much of your time is focused around being with your child and supporting your wife, and just kind of living a quieter life for a little while. So anyways, there was that, and then there was COVID. So it was kind of a long period of hermit crab existence. I'm the hermit and my wife is the crab. She's a Cancer, the crab sign, and hermit is my life card, the bearer of light, the way shower. So we spent a pretty long time going inwards in the hermit crab lifestyle. We cultivated some really beautiful things. Emily started a business out of thin air, which is rather amazing. She teaches psychic herbalism, which is a way to spiritually, psychically connect with plants and receive messages from them without having to ingest any of them. And you can do it from anywhere. So it's really a meditation course connected with plant spirits. So she's doing that. She's running that business successfully. And I kind of went into like a little bit of existential crisis mode, because my way of making money and my style of making art was taken away from me. And I was in a totally different environment. Los Angeles is a very expensive place to live. So I was just like, what am I doing? How am I going to do it? And basically did a bunch of weird kind of shitty jobs, including installing Christmas lights on mansions, which, although I shouldn't complain about that was actually pretty fun. I'm the kind of guy who likes to climb around on roofs and look at cool views, do awkward and challenging things. So it actually wasn't so bad. I enjoyed that. Enjoyed that a little bit, but I was working for 15 hours a day and working these crazy 8 to 13 hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. But obviously that doesn't last. And after that, I worked in an office for a little while, which is my first and only time really doing the cubicle life thing. And I also enjoyed that for a little bit. I definitely have the mental characteristic of seeking to enjoy and make the best of every situation that I find myself in. But I'm only telling you this to tell you that things are so much better now. We've created more financial abundance for ourselves. I've written most of a book. I'm about to publish it soon. I'm right now doing all the illustrations for it, getting it all finished up and edited. I already published the ebook version, which is called the Law of Attraction Manual. As many of you, I'm sure, know, because I've been talking about it a lot. And so that the paperback version is coming out soon, and it's going to be a journal version so that people can really interact with it and write their own manifestations in the actual book. Also has some parts that you can join in on the drawings that I've already created. So it's going to be a fun, interactive experience of manifesting certain circumstances into our lives. And yeah, so all those transitions happened sort of during the lockdowns and the period of intense, extreme fear that we went through. Because Los Angeles was a very strange and unwelcoming place to be, especially if you didn't believe in wearing masks outdoors, which is the case for me. I think that's an absurd thing to make people do. But this video is not about that. So let's get back on track here, shall we? I wanted to share with you guys my new style that I've been working on. It's really something that's been unfolding for a little while. And the thing is, the studio space I'm working in, as you can see right here, is not that large, and I'm endeavoring to keep it at least somewhat clean. So I can't be totally as wild and as messy as I would like to be, which is why these outdoor festivals are the perfect environment for me to create something like this. First of all, just being outside, having a ton of space and a ton of people around and good music it changes everything. It brings the energy way, way up. It adds a performance element to what I'm doing. And it really lit my creative fire back up. As you know, I've been making a lot of these YouTube videos, writing a book, doing some other stuff, but I kind of paused the painting for a little while. Wasn't really creating a lot of big artwork. And now I feel totally rejuvenated in that regard. And so my intention was to create this style of painting that I can do fairly quickly and loosely while still having a significant amount of structure and meaning to the work. A lot of the other artwork that I make tends to be like very detailed, very symbolic, very carefully thought out. And I absolutely love that stuff. I will not stop doing it, but it is very time consuming. And kind of the way that the modern world moves and the way that the energy of a festival moves are pretty fast paced. So I wanted to make something that was in alignment with that. Make something that kind of bring this energy of chaos and order at the same time. Allow me to throw some paint around, get kind of wild with it, but also to get into the details and the structures that I enjoy creating, because I make these detailed geometric structures not just because like I think it's what people will like or whatever. It's more so like this is how I like to work. I like to have things balanced and organized, and I like symmetry, and I like geometry. Chalk it up to my Venus and Mars and Virgo. Could just be the Libra sun, or maybe it has nothing to do with the planets at all. But that's hard to imagine. So anyways, I'm going to show you this actual painting now. This is actually the second one that I made. Right. So I'm experimenting with this idea of first kind of letting loose on the canvas. So I'll make my gradient or my fairly simple colored background, and then possibly and there tends to be layers and layers of geometric structure. There was a structure underneath the first layer. Then I covered it with the colored background. And then I made another geometric structure using the Flower of Life stencil. So you can kind of see that in the background in gold a little bit. And then I was able to do the fun part, which is really get loose with it, start to throw some paint around onto the canvas. And that's how I created this giraffe drinking the ocean, which is what this painting ended up being. It wasn't what I was planning to make, but that goes along with the kind of the loose improvisational, playful style that I was intending with this. The thing that I did have planned out was the wave structure. I really like this idea of making waves with lines. It's a metaphor for actually what I'm doing with my artwork and with my life. And it's also a description of what you're doing when you're surfing, or making lines on waves, making waves with lines, however you want to look at it. And it's also kind of a suggestion of the nature of the passing of time. So it's coming to be and passing away, coming to be and passing away. Everything that we experience in this lifetime is like that, all the way down to our lifetimes themselves, coming to be and passing away, just like a wave. So I love the wave metaphor. It's something I think about a lot, obviously, as a surfer. And the one person who was watching this passed away. Coming to be and passing away. They left with that metaphor. I guess they didn't like it. Just kidding. I hope they didn't pass away. That would be fucked up. Trying to make a joke. It didn't come out quite right. So yeah, then what I was doing is layering it with these different layers of sacred geometric stencils. And I really enjoyed getting the aerosols back out. I was inspired by my friend Gabriel. Gabriel Welch is an awesome artist who I got to know at this festival. And he plays with the acrylic and the cans a lot. And so he would kind of help me to loosen up and throw some spray paint on these paintings. So basically it's this layers and layers of geometry, followed by these kind of wild throws of paint, and woven into this tapestry of semi-abstract but also representational art. And it's the creation of waves, making waves with lines. So I got this other one, which is on the similar theme of making waves with lines. So this one I feel like is a little bit more of an understated color scheme, almost more of a realistic color scheme. It's like this wild landscape of, again, the combination between the careful geometric lines on waves on lines, and the kind of wild abstract acrylic work up in the sky there. So this style really allows me to work quickly, to be loose and detailed at the same time, and essentially to create paintings much faster. I made and just about completed both of these paintings over the course of the weekend, while doing a lot of other stuff, having a ton of fun, meeting a bunch of people, dancing around, swimming in the river, just doing all kinds of different stuff, and finishing 2 fairly large acrylic works. So the style, I think, has a lot of potential for me in terms of something to work on in those specific environments, but also something that I believe is going to fit with the type of art that people are interested here in Los Angeles and by the ocean. Not everybody likes to go super symbolic, super detailed, super psychedelic, which is kind of the natural direction I tend to go into. So it's nice to kind of appeal to a slightly different audience. And I see myself doing these paintings on a larger scale and showing them in galleries here in Los Angeles, and finding a group of collectors who are interested in this type of work and want to see more of it, want to see it big. So that's where I'm at right now. That's kind of the exciting development and the things that I learned from that trip to Music and Sky Festival. Alongside of that, just the magic of collaboration, co-creation, and even side-by-side creation that you get when you have a bunch of artists in that type of environment it's just priceless. It's the coolest shit. I love it so much. So I'm really grateful to be back doing that kind of stuff. And yeah, just creatively inspired again, artistically inspired again. I feel like my painting got stuck for a little while. It needed this opening to reinvigorate it, to get me back on the pathway. So I'm back, people. Don't worry. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of my art, as always, it's on narwhal.com. That's GNARWHAL. And on the Instagram at AlecFallHamilton_art. It's where I put out a lot of my new stuff. Website update is coming soon. It needs a little bit of love, a little bit of something. So I'm about to be freshening that up and putting some new works on there. I got these cute little guys coming up too. So stay tuned for the magic mushroom prints. This is the tetrahedron psilocybin. Making a whole series of these, which are the elements in the platonic solids, along with the psilocybin mushrooms. The reason why I'm putting these together is because I found that the mushrooms seem to be telling me, asking me, or suggesting that I make geometric patterns and combine it with the mushrooms. And they've always done that ever since I first started taking the mushrooms. They've had me making these like intricate, symbolic, geometric artworks. So the continuation of that, and I've got a whole description of the platonic solids and their symbolism in my new book, The Love Attraction Manual. Once I did the illustrations, I realized that I needed to get into the symbolism of all the illustrations. So I got this whole sacred geometry section in that book coming out. That's kind of why it's taken me so long, is because that vortex or that rabbit hole of symbolism goes pretty deep. So that's where I've been playing around. It's been a good time. And yeah, these are going to be on the website pretty soon once they're all finished and photographed, and the original works are still available. So if you love these and you want to pick them up, now's your chance. This is the one and only. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace. Having trouble ending the stream. Now I will end it. Goodbye.